We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
Good morning, Sam.
So this is the second part of the year-end list. Um, Make sure to check out our honorable mentions video. That way you can see the picks that almost made the list, but not nearly. But so Mitch, I know you started out yesterday um, with
You do honor, Steve.
yeah. So I guess I'll go first this time. Let me go ahead and pull that up here. All right, so this is 10 through 6. 10 through 6. Let me lower the. All right, so at number 10, dude, at number 10, I have Steven Soderbergh's Black Bag. Um this oh man, I love me spy films. I love me espionage films. I love me film noir. I love me some movies that are really like chess games, like puzzles, mysteries. This movie is was like it was made for me. And Soderbergh is one of my favorite directors and it's under 90 minutes. So how about that?
That one really went the distance, man. Congrats to Black Bag for being seen so early in the game and making it all this way. Little Soderbergh exercise, which is also slyly funny, I would say.
Yeah, it's really funny, man. And I was glad to see it on our friend or your cousin's list, Caleb.
Yeah, it seems
He
like one he would like to, so yeah.
he had it on there as well. I just love this movie, man. It's so good, so thrilling. I've watched this like multiple times. I watched it twice in theaters, and then I've watched it maybe a handful of times uh, at home. Uh, Now, this was the one that was actually my first honorable mention. The chronology of water actually had the 10th spot,
Made the
but
jump.
it made the jump mainly because I mean I know I'm gonna be watching this movie time and time again, you know, and
That's so
so
awesome, man, that you got a
yes,
movie like that that you love so much that you feel like you're going to be watching years from now.
exactly. So number 10 for me is Black Bag. What is your number 10, Mitch?
It's the only movie in my top 10 that I watched on an airplane. And let's hear it for F1.
Okay, all right. I mean, solid popcorn flick, but nothing more. That's okay. I get it.
Incorrect. I mean, incorrect. Because look, when you get a movie like this, you get things, man. When you get a movie that's a movie, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a movie, okay? Like this brings you to a place that you can't go, okay? And it has these heroes in it that are just fighting for something, you know? And it has laughs and it has romance and it's the stuff of life. I just remember feeling so pumped up by it. I wanted it to win Best Picture, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this one, and if they make a sequel, or as Conan said, caps lock, uh,
If that was a funny one.
that was a funny joke. I enjoyed that one. I'll be there. I liked the actors. I liked everyone involved. I liked the technical aspects. Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, it's a solid popcorn flick. I enjoyed it, and but I'm glad you really dug it, man. I do you think maybe this is one of those things where uh, because of how you watched it, maybe that's why it stands out to you.
Well, I mean, there were other movies from 2025 that I watched on an airplane, if that's what you're asking. I, I,
Okay.
I think one thing that honestly contributed to it that I don't think I mentioned is you know Michael Robb. Uh, he never goes to the movies, and one day he called me and he was like, "Hey, I've got some downtime, and this is weird, but I'm thinking about going to catch a movie. Can you help me?" And I was just like, "This only is going to happen once a decade," so I was like scrambling. And I was, when someone asks you for a movie recommendation, it's not just like what you think is the best. You have to
Yeah,
take them. And so I was just like, I was really weighing between things, and I finally landed on this one. And he went, and he loved it so much, and he was like live texting me throughout it, and it just his response to it really helped. I think when I finally sat down to watch it, put it into a because he's not a movie fan, and there's
yeah.
something about that too where it's like this can really speak to people very very broadly. Um, anyways, the rabbit trail, but yeah, what's your next one?
No, I'm glad to hear about that, and I'm glad to that you're able to introduce a new character to our show, Michael Robb.
The
Oh,
legend.
the legend who used to be one of your nemesis. So the next one on my list, Mitch, I'm telling you, Soderbergh had a 1-2 punch. The next
What
one
do
on
we
my
got here?
list is Presence.
Dude!
Man, man, oh man. I, you know how I love 90-minute movies? I also love 80-minute movies. Dude, this is gosh, man. It's another exercise for Soderbergh. It's another one of those movies where, you're on the edge of your seat, but it's so beautifully made, beautifully shot. Yeah, I love the unique perspective of the the camera as a character. You're looking at it from the point of view of the ghost. And I like how the movie is like you don't know where it's going, and it slowly but surely unravels itself. And by the finale, the reason why this movie, I was trying to decide at the last minute, which movie should I put in front of the other, Black Bag or Presence? It was close. The only reason why Presence took the number 9 spot, Mitch, is because of that final moment. It's the most terrifying moment in any movie I've seen in 2025. It still gives me chills thinking about it. It's that moment when Lucy Liu's character looks in the mirror and she
Mm,
kind of shrieks, like she yells.
mm-hmm.
That is so it's terrifying, it's devastating, it's so moving. um the whole movie was leading up to that one moment of realization. I think this movie is truly a great film. It's a movie about family, right? About how we have these secrets, right? How we need to be looking out for each other. So I think this movie is one of those that years from now, it will probably be like a cult classic. I really do think so because a lot of people, general audiences especially, didn't really connect with this movie, right? I remember watching it in theaters, and there was a young couple in front of us, right? And I'm like locked in, dude. I am locked in, and Vanessa is watching it too. She's like, okay, where is this going? And normally, right? Normally, whenever there's people talking, right? So it was us and another couple, and the other couple just kept on, like the guy mainly was just talking, right? And normally Vanessa would just grab my hand and say, just let it go, just let it go. But this time, she was actually like she actually wanted me to say something because that's how distracting it was. And I remember going up to them and being like, "Hey guys, because I worked at a
You
theater
spoke to
before.
them?
Yeah, I told them to be quiet, but in a nice way. Dude, this is a Soderbergh film. I don't think people realize, like, I go to movies sometimes and like I don't think they realize that the these movies aren't just, oh, this isn't just the horror movie of the week. No, this movie has a lot to it, you know. And so they were apologizing. Of course, I did it nicely, and I've worked in a theater before, so I know how to do it the right way.
You're the
Um,
professional shusher.
yeah, yeah. I know how to do it without it escalating, basically. But number nine is
The
presence, man.
the thing about this movie is, dude, David Kep goes over to Steven's house and he's like, Steven, wake up. And he's like, no, no, let me sleep. He's like, no, 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 Steven, come on, I've got a movie idea. He's like, no. He's like, dude, come on. And Steven's like, fine. He wakes up, pulls out his camera, and just starts stumbling around shooting. He does this in his sleep, dude. It's amazing that these are both great movies, and it's crazy that they went the distance to make it into your top
Yeah,
10.
they were,
But
dude, they were both the first two great movies that I watched in 2025.
yeah, I'm glad they're on the list. I like these two.
And final thing I'm gonna say is it goes to like remember that conversation I had with you where I said that I think that Soderbergh should be considered as one of the modern day Alfred Hitchcocks. I really
Yes.
think this guy can do anything, dude. This guy can do anything. So I'm leaving it at that. I'm leaving it at that. What's your next pick, Mitch?
Well, it's a movie that for most of the year I mispronounced, but it's called Anemone.
Anemone. Okay. Well, wait. Okay. I, when I glanced at your list when you released it, like I said, I only
Yes.
glanced at it. This was one of the surprises that surprised me, right? Because of how much I knew you loved it, and for the longest time, it was your favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, I had said when it came out that I had said I hadn't seen anything that affected me this much yet, and that was like in October. So,
Okay.
uh, I mean, in fairness, that's 6 months ago. It was pretty late in the year of 2025. Um, but I watched this in the theater. Daniel Day-Lewis is back, which no one could have taken for granted, although a few of us had suspicions he couldn't stay away.
Yeah.
He's doing it with his son, which again, like what we talked about with Urchin the other day, where it's like he's kind of like putting things in his movie that he thinks are movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I've seen movies before, and this is what they look like. And just making some big artistic swings that probably a more seasoned director might not make or might integrate better, but that you're like, oh, you don't get this kind of raw like youthful artistry. You can't manufacture it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He's doing this with his dad, and there's just so many layers, and it's a very dense script, and it's a very great two-hander between Bean, who I feel like doesn't get enough credit for his
He never
abilities
does,
more
man. He
broadly.
never does.
He's unbelievable in this movie, and it's two brothers, and it's painful, and it's sad, and it's confusing, and it's gorgeous, and like you said with Weapons yesterday, man, Magnolia fans better recognize this movie is definitely in conversation with um, PTA, and it's definitely in conversation with someone who I love, Tarkovsky, I think, and it's an art film, and it's a special one.
Well, I never got around to it, and and added to the list of the movies where it almost Mitch, I have to be honest with you about something. I've attempted to watch this movie like three times, and I could never just get past the first 15 minutes of it. I'm just being honest with you.
I got to be
And
honest with you. I find that very, very weird that you, Sam, out of all the movies you've seen that I've seen you see, that you can't get past it. Like that just it doesn't compute. I don't have a category for what you're saying.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not. If you had gotten through it and been like, yeah, it's not for me. I didn't really like it. Here's why. That's different. But you're just like,
you,
oh, I can't get through this. That doesn't
you,
make sense.
you know what I think it is? I think it's because like the movies it seems to be at least from what I've seen it's a very dense film, right? Very dense film. and it's very slow moving, right? And the
Two
runtime is
things
like,
that have never steered Sam off in the past.
I know, I don't know, Mitch. I don't.
What if you heard a knock on your door right now and you answered it was Daniel Plainview?
Oh God. Oh Jesus.
I'm
Well,
finished.
so was that your number 10
That
or
was
number
my number
9?
9.
Number
Yeah.
9. Okay. So I guess that leaves me. My number 8. My number 8. My number 8, Mitch, is No Other Choice. Oh man. Okay. First of all, I just want to clarify something. Um, this isn't the director's best film. It's not my
It's
favorite
his
film.
second best film.
No, no, no. But it just shows you that even a movie that I don't think is his best film is still freaking great, still freaking awesome. I'm gonna tell you a little story about this because you pretty much know what this movie's about, right? For the
Sure.
most part, yeah. So
I mean, I started it 3 times. I couldn't get fast the first.
yeah, you're funny. You're funny because if you turned on this movie, there's no way you would want to turn it off, right? I just want to say that this was one of the best movie theater experiences I had in 2025. I watched this at a special engagement. I watched this with my buddy John. We watched it in IMAX, and it was simply amazing. All right. But what I was going to say was one of the reasons why I really connected with this movie was about maybe a few years ago, maybe a little more than a few years ago. I had lost my job, right? I had lost my job. Thankfully, we had some savings, right? We had some savings. Um, but as you know, savings can only go, you know, get you so far. And so I was there on the job hunt for maybe a good 3 or 4 months, just trying to find, applying, could not find anything. Like I was having to do little odd jobs just to get extra income. And during that time, not only was Vanessa in charge of the our finances, right? She was the only one working. So she was the one that had been saving all this time, and she was the one that had to support us while I was trying to find a job, right? Eventually I did, but the reason why that really stuck with me is because in this movie, it's about a guy who loses his job and they have to downsize and they have to sell a lot of things. And his wife has to end up getting a job, and she's the one that ends up supporting them while he's trying to go on this crazy, insane journey of simply just finding a job. This is this is one of the most relevant films I've seen in the past few years, man. I think anyone who's ever been in my situation can relate. Obviously, I wouldn't go to the lengths that he did, but it could have been a very depressing film. But this movie is just flat out funny. It's dark and it's brilliant, man. It is so very good. I wish you would have watched it. I really do. I really do.
I was
Because
close.
oh man, I I wish you could have watched it because I have a feeling that it might have snuck into your at least honorable mentions,
You
but
never know.
we'll never know. But I think this just is just a phenomenal film, and I'm so glad that I was able to catch it. And yeah, so No Other Choice is my number 8.
So both of the past two, we saw at special screenings. Both of the past two, the other has not seen. Interesting, interesting.
There hasn't been any overlap, right?
Isn't that the case? But now here's some overlap for my next pick. And look, it's called respect. It's called respect. My next pick is the Phoenician scheme.
Nice. Okay.
And here's the deal. Nobody's doing what this man is doing. Nobody. Okay. This
Nobody.
guy is a true artist. He's and if what sends me up a tree, to quote Sean Penn about the Academy Awards,
What's
what
that?
sends me up a tree is when people say that this guy's doing the same thing over and over again. This guy is going deeper and deeper, and I can't even keep up with him.
Yep.
I felt this way in Asteroid City. I was like, whoa, now we're going Wes Andersonception right here. And then this one, and I was like, if like in Asteroid City, he reckoned with himself like as an artist, and what even was that all about, and what did that mean in the cosmos? And here it's like even going even further into space. It's Wes Anderson Interstellar, okay? Um, and yeah, I mean, this is a movie you can think about forever. I mean, I can't even get past the title. I just feel like he's operating on a completely different dimension, and I love this movie. And you can still just watch it as a movie because it's propulsive, it's funny, it's interesting, it's beautiful, it's a lot of things. So yeah, Phoenician Scheme for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I had this on my honorable mentions, and I'm glad that it showed up on yours. I knew it was, dude. I knew it was. This is one of those where I was like, okay, this is one of three films that may be his number one film of the year. Um, and there, yeah. So, yeah, I love this movie. Like I stated yesterday, I think it's his most spiritual film. And so, yeah, there's that, man. What number are we on, Mitch? We are on number seven. So, my number seven pick is a movie. It's a slice of life, a slice of a beautiful life, a simple life. That movie is Train Dreams. Number seven, Train Dreams. I
Nice.
I absolutely love this movie. I I think dude, it's it's a very special film in my opinion, and it's even more special. And it was easy to digest, right, because of the runtime. I had never seen a movie that took on life, right, the meaning of life, and growing up and all these little moments in such a short runtime. And this movie did it. This movie proved that it can be done, right? You don't need, it felt big in scope. It felt like an epic film, like a 3 hour long movie, but it was only like 90 minutes. But although it felt epic, it was also very intimate, right? And I'm gonna tell my dog to, she just keeps on barking, barking, barking. One second.
So barking, barking, bark. You're
Puppy,
like
no,
Tom Waits.
enough.
It's like Tom Waits in Father, Mother, Brother, Sister. He's like, I'm chopping and I'm chopping and
And
I'm focused.
I'm focused.
um, yeah, so dude, believe it or not, dude, I know you don't believe me, but this was on my short list, and one of the
No, it
reasons
wasn't, dude. This is one of the ones that surprised me. This is the other surprise, Mitch. I was so heartbroken. I'll be honest with you because I think that if I had never sent you that book, I think that this would have ended on your top
I
10
don't
list.
think so, but maybe. We won't ever know. But here's the thing. If you'd never sent me the book, I wouldn't have had the experience of the book, which was the better experience. And so don't lament giving me the better experience so I didn't like a subpar experience better. And two, what is this thing that people feel like you can't? There was another movie this year that I junked. Oh yeah, one battle after another. One battle. What is this experience where you can't junk on a movie and love it? Like you should be able to junk on the art that you love. Maybe even more so. And so like I give Train Dreams a hard time on this show. I gave One Battle Another after a hard time on the show. I love both of those movies, and I'm glad that like that's part of our interaction with great art is criticism. So Train James is a great movie. It was on my short list, and one of the things that helped me cut it was the knowledge that it was definitely going to be on yours.
Wow. So you decided to cheat on this one.
Yeah, yeah. This
Wait,
is
how did you know it was going to be on my list?
because I know you did.
Well, dude, it still hurts, to be honest.
It shouldn't hurt.
It
It
does
shouldn't hurt.
though.
It doesn't make
Puppy,
sense. I would be a good therapist. It shouldn't hurt. Stop. Just stop. Stop
stop,
hurting.
guys, stop.
You,
Linus, go over there, Linus. Go over there, Linus. Go over there.
honest.
These little dogs, and then there's two of them out there, and I still have to take out the pug. Oh man,
You
this is
goofball.
crazy. This is
Well,
crazy.
I guess I'll go ahead and go into my next one.
All right, go for it.
Uh, my next one is A Little Prayer.
Ooh, okay. All right, go ahead and talk about this one, Mitch.
So I appreciate Sam getting this one on my radar. And this is a movie that I think about quite a bit. That I mean, I even yesterday I quoted it. You know, me and Lori and Chloe were at the dinner table, and Chloe was just yakking on about something, kind of ignoring what I was saying back to her. And I looked at Lori and I was like, you know, your children don't belong to you, and they will break your heart.
What did
And
Lori say?
this movie accomplishes something that so few movies can. It's a movie that exists without judgment almost.
Mm.
It just expresses reality. It demonstrates it. The performances are so lived in, and it's a quiet movie. It's a simple movie. It's a destructive movie, um, and there's so many moments in it, you know, that stay in my heart. The last scene in the museum. I saw another movie that took place in a museum recently, or that was shooting in a museum. Um, I didn't even mention it. Spectateurs. But
Oh yeah, you did mention that one.
oh yeah, yeah. It had some shots in a museum, and I immediately thought of this one and
What was
that Christmas hymn that plays in that scene. And you know, time would fail to go on in this movie. We've talked about it a lot, and I'm happy to include it on my list.
well? What number was that?
I don't know. Let's see. 10 was F1. 9 was Anemone. 8 was Phoenician Scheme. 7.
So number seven. Well, I'm glad it ended up on your list, Mitch. But once again, I'm upset with you that it didn't land any higher on your list. So you're just over here disappointing me, Mitch. I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know what it is.
I'm sorry, man.
I, I, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, so let me see here. What was the last movie I put?
Maybe if I hadn't read the book first.
All right, my number six. This is my last one. My number six is rebuilding. All right,
Oh,
so
yeah.
look, Mitch, I this movie was in my top three. Um, as
Yeah,
soon
I'm
as I
surprised
watched
that's
it.
lower.
Yeah, it was at one point in my top three. And as we get into the top five, I'll discuss more on why it dropped, right? Still, this is the movie that we need right now. All right. This is such a beautiful film. This is a movie that is about community, about friendship, about family, about coming together no matter what hard times. In fact, just talking about it right now, I'm like, did I make the right choice putting it where it's at? But I love this movie. I watched it a second time recently, and it was still great, but it wasn't as powerful as the first time I watched it, and I think it was because of the circumstances that I watched it in, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, I definitely
Um,
think so.
and so it was still great. It was still one of those that was a highlight of the year. It's one that I'll be thinking about from years on out. It's a small gem of a film, but my number six is Rebuilding.
Well, yeah, I like this movie. I think it's quite good, and I think like A Little Prayer, it's a very gentle and sweet movie, but you know also has some heaviness, some heartbreak to it. Yeah, it's like, you know, you can do these stories right, and it did it right. So That's good. I would say for my last one then, a movie I'm happy to include um, that it's like it's like being in the movie. This movie feels like being in the movie theater to me, even though I didn't watch it in the movie theater. It feels like midnight, how I imagined midnight when I was a kid. It feels like some kind of, how to say, it feels like a version of reality that probably doesn't exist but still interacts with reality. And what is what are movies but that? I'll stop. It's Jay Kelly.
Oh man. Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
this is a good
in
one.
a in the Hollywood in the old Hollywood days, Clooney, like he is today, would have been a movie star, and Sandler would have been a character actor.
Yeah.
Um, And yeah, he was so he probably would have done the same thing. He probably could have had all these movies like what's that guy's name that did like Nutty Professor and stuff, the
I
original.
don't know. I don't know.
Oh man, he was in King of Comedy in a serious role. That's my point. Doggone it, I can't remember his name. But Jerry something.
Jerry
Um,
Lewis? Jerry
yes,
the
Jerry Lewis. Yeah, Jerry Lewis. It's just bopping off on these very almost like chalkboard, hand on chalkboard, fingernails on chalkboard performances in lead roles in comedy movies like the Absent-Minded Professor, I think it was called, um, before it was remade. And you're just like, oh gosh, he's horrible. And then he'll just show up in like the King of Comedy or something and be like, oh snap, what? He's got something there. So this I thought no Baumbach, man. Again, it's like you got to respect this guy, man. It's like I'm thinking Soderbergh or Linklater or Anderson or all these guys that are just doing it. They've got something so special, and you're just like, please, please, please keep making these. And that's why I wish it had gotten a little more respect.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a top tenner for me.
Well, this one isn't a surprise that it's on your list. I like this movie a lot. I thought it was a very good film. I As much as I loved George Clooney and Adam Sandler, I actually think Billy Crudup was the standout man. He's only in that movie for a couple of scenes, and he knocks it out of the park.
Yeah,
I
he was really
mean,
good.
that's the kind of role that supporting actors, right? The category is for, right?
Yeah, before the category fraud, you would think stuff like that could get some highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the category fraud is like mainly like nowadays. Doesn't it seem like it's like, oh, okay, the co-lead is just gonna be campaigning as supporting actor, you know? Whereas
Um,
when I think of supporting actor or actress, I think of like Viola Davis in Doubt, where she only is in the movie for like 10 minutes,
yes,
you
yes,
know?
that's right. So
Um,
apparently, I was reading Dan writing for the Goods, and I don't want to misquote him, but it seemed like he was suggesting that what happens is every movie gets one lead actor and one lead actress, and so
yeah.
everybody else in the movie by default is a supporting. But don't quote me on that or him.
No, no, no.
But
I think I've heard that as well. So I mean, if that's the case, then I get it. And if yeah, if you only have one of each, but then again, wait, you only wait, you have like a movie like one battle after another.
yeah, where you have because they're not the lead. Leo is the lead, so everybody else, including Benicio and Sean Penn, are supporting.
Oh,
Is what I
okay,
mean.
so there can be multiples of that.
Yeah, everybody else is supporting.
Okay.
If there's
Yeah,
only one
no, no,
lead.
no, no. I got you. I got you. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Well, I mean, regardless, I mean, I would have at least liked to see Sandler in a supporting actor. But
yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was his best performance. I thought he
I don't
was
either. I honestly
good.
wouldn't have nominated him. I think everybody just kind of wants him to win at this point, and that it would be fun. But yeah, I don't think this role was it.
Yeah, I no. So, well, I'm glad, dude. I'm glad it was Jay Kelly was on your list. And yeah, so I guess tomorrow we're going to be discussing our top five, man. This is exciting. Yeah. So, Mitch, do you have anything else you want to add before we go?
That's it, man. Looking forward to it.
All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.